Thank you, Dub Nation.
Hello? Hello? Alright, we're streaming on YouTube now. I think it should be ready now. Alright. I'm gonna send you a link, Chris. Tell me when you're ready, so I can switch it and put up the volume. Did you hear me? Hello, hello. Welcome back to me and Chris's show. Tonight we have a very nice performance plan. Chris, you want to say hi?
How's it going?
Alright, so tonight our show is Kanye West over the years. So, where do we get it? Hey, Brandon Anglin, what's up?
Why don't we start with you want to start with producer Kanye? Or you want to go straight to rapper?
Let's go straight to rapper. Oh, well, I don't know too much about producer Kanye.
I know a little.
All right, go ahead. Say what you know.
So Kanye started producing probably in like '96 with No ID in Chicago. Interesting time. During that period, you had a lot of Pac, Biggie, Jade's just started sprouting up. So did Rockefeller Records. Kanye had been producing. He went broke a couple times. He had to move from Chicago to New Jersey. He kept trying to shop around his demo. Got into a car crash. Produced a couple hits. After the car crash, his demo took off because of Through the Wire. He spit it with the metal still in his mouth. But other than that, it's straight to College Dropout.
All right. Let's start with College Dropout.
Second best Kanye album ever.
What's your first best?
Late Registration.
See, I'm not. I know the Life of Art. Before we get into the big topic, I know the Life of Pablo isn't probably the best Kanye album. Definitely isn't the best, but it's my personal favorite. I can listen to that days on end.
It's a good album, but it's not the best Kanye album.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so let's get started.
All right, let's start with College Dropout's creation. He had just freshly signed to Rockefeller off of Jay-Z and Dame Dash. He had a hit, or not a hit, but a big song with Through the Wire, where he spits with all that metal in his mouth. You can tell the whole time. He got a couple major features at the time. He got Jamie Foxx. He put Talib Kweli on there. He put Jay-Z a couple. He got Jay-Z, I think, twice. But at the end of the album, the most interesting thing to me is he has a song called Last Call. It's a 12-minute long song, and for like 8 minutes he explained exactly how the album was like, or how he got signed to Rockefeller, because he had I think it was Interscope on the table at the same time. But they dropped him over them thinking that he was going to sign with Rockefeller. He luckily signed with Rockefeller anyways, but I mean, it led to his first major controversy if you think about it.
Which one?
The George Bush.
If you guys don't know, the George Bush, basically it was around the time, it was for Hurricane Katrina. It was basically relief. It was basically he was promoting a relief fund, right?
Yeah, it was like, you know how they do the concerts? Like the major concerts when something bad happens. Like, for instance, the bombing in Manchester with Ariana Grande. Mm-hmm. They went back to Manchester and did that, like, charity concert. It was that, but like Michael Myers was on it, the dude who played Austin Powers, not the Halloween guy.
Serial killer.
Him, a couple other people. Dave Chappelle, I think, was on there, but
Dave Chappelle, surprisingly. I mean, it's not like he
was big back then.
He was. I mean, he was big, and then he disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Well, they offered him $50 million, and he said no thanks, and went and lived in Iowa or Ohio. But that being said, basically it opens up. Michael Myers is asking for relief funds for Katrina, and it's Kanye West's turn to talk, and all he goes is, does he say George Bush hates black people?
George Bush does not care about
black people. And then they quickly cut it to, I forget whose shocked face it was, but somebody was like, oh my God. Basically, he apologized probably like 4 or 5 years later, even though people didn't think he needed to, because a lot of the black community felt that George Bush didn't like them. So there's always that, but then that just leads into a string of other things. I think the problem with me and him is he has so much baggage, but not enough to throw him out. You know what I mean?
Like throw him out of the music community?
Yeah. He's not like R. Kelly.
Oh, man.
Like, he's done a lot of dumb stuff, but not to the point of R. Kelly level. Or Bill Cosby or any of them. His is just more of, like, humiliating other people and himself all at the same time.
Basically, it's all shock factor. It's shock factor. It's not like...
Yeah, but I think a lot of people cut on him too much recently. He does have mental health problems, but... Okay, so the string of things that happened was first album dropped, second album dropped, George Bush, then Graduation dropped. He didn't win a single VMA for like 2 years. He kept attacking MTV, saying that they chose Britney Spears over him and how it wasn't fair, how she didn't have a hit or anything during that time. But, you know, he's always outspoken like that. Then he called himself that he'll go down as the greatest voice of this generation, and people cut him a lot for that. There was a lot of problems with that. Then the VMAs with Taylor Swift and Beyonce roll around.
What was that? 2008? No, a little later. Way later.
I think it was 2008 or 2009.
Maybe
I
even
think it was
2010.
No, it wasn't 2010 because My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out in 2010. And that was like his return from hiatus because I think it took him 3 years to make that album.
Oh, that was 2009. Yep.
Yeah, because I think originally he might have dropped. He was supposed to drop something in 2009. Then that happened when he ran up on stage. But the lesser known fact, I think, don't quote me. Yeah, no, 2009. It happened in 2009, right?
2009.
Yeah, his mom died in 2007. The backstory with that is she went to go have plastic surgery, and she died due to complications of plastic surgery. But the little known fact about it is Kanye still blames himself for that. Because in an interview he said that if he never got money, that she never would have been able to have plastic surgery and she never would have died. So I think that's something to keep in mind when you talk about like his outbursts and stuff. Is like he still blames himself for his mom's death. He has a song dedicated to his mom. He has a lot. Like, he was close with his mom. And I think the thing is she kind of kept him in check. Like, he was never able to step out of, like, full bounds, and then she died, and then it was like...
It was a wreck.
It was a wreck. It was a wreck for him. Plus, he was off that dark liquor during the VMAs. Dark liquor makes you do strange things. So there's always that factor that why he ran up on stage. But I think as it gets like more recent, where you go with like Beck, what was that, 2015 or 2016, where he almost ran up on stage at the Grammys.
What happened in 2015, 2016?
Didn't he almost run up on stage at the Grammys?
For what? What happened?
Beck won Album of the Year over Beyonce.
Who? Beck?
Beck, yeah.
Like Beck the alternative rock band?
Yeah.
They did? Wait, 2016?
It's a person.
I thought it was a group.
No, Beck is just a singular man.
Oh. I'm taking a look. Beck,
Not VMA, Grammy.
Grammys. Wow, he actually did.
Yeah.
2015.
You didn't know that? Yeah, he almost ran up on stage, then ran off stage, and everybody thought it was a joke. But he got to the after party and started getting interviewed, and he flipped out. It's like him, Khloe Kardashian, Kim Kardashian all standing there, and he starts. Beyonce should have won Album of the Year. Beck should have handed over the award. He knew better. He went off. It was funny, but like at the same time, I think that's when a lot of people started questioning what was going on with him. Because, like, why are you doing this so much? Also, does he have a crush on Beyonce is the other question.
Maybe not a crush, but maybe... I feel like there's something...
I feel like...
a bit more personal with it. Well, I don't
But at the same... I also feel like him and Jay had such a close relationship at the time that he felt obligated.
Yeah.
Jay signed him. They did an album together. He'd been producing beats for him forever. Like, there was, like, a big... Like, they were brothers. But he kept, like, sticking out too far. But then, like, you have other controversies, like, the video of him and the paparazzi.
Which one?
Leave my fucking family alone.
What year was that?
I want to say 2013. Yeah, he opens his garage door and then like, hi, Kanye. And he goes, leave my fucking family alone. What are some other stuff that he's done?
There was
I'm not counting recent yet. I'm still trying to think.
Did we already do the Taylor Swift?
Yeah, we just talked about that.
The thing he
Oh.
said about Taylor Swift for
Oh yeah, Life of Pablo. I mean, technically he was in the right for that. I will give him that.
mhm.
Because she did agree to it. He said the line. Kim Kardashian posted the images and videos. But I don't think it needed to be went about in the way it did.
what?
I think Kim, in her defense, it is her husband, so she did get a little defensive with it. I don't know if it should have been reconciled the way it did, like just randomly posted on Snapchat, like, oh, here are the receipts. But got to do what you got to do.
If you're getting it, if I feel like in that case, it's understandable because he was getting like slammed, right? He wasn't getting slammed.
I mean,
he was getting a lot of
with
crap.
Taylor Swift,
Her fans were slamming.
yeah, she has enough fans to kill somebody.
But yeah, his fans were slamming him, but he had to defend himself because he wasn't lying. People thought that he was lying in that case.
They did, but I mean, was there need for proof or was there not?
I think there was.
I think with her it's so polarizing because he already attacked her. So I mean, he kind of had it coming. You know what I mean?
He did, but I think the fact that he had the proof to like,
Yeah.
he was in the wrong for that, but he also defended himself pretty well in that. He was in the wrong for the VMAs as much as, like, let's say Beyonce did deserve to win the VMAs that year. I don't know. I wasn't really into hip-hop at the time. I wasn't really into music at all at the time. But after the fact, for the 2016, for The Life of Pablo,
Yeah.
he had her agreed to using it. He didn't like lie about it. He didn't do it without her permission. And then she went back. Did she say herself that?
Yeah, she said that she didn't agree to the line.
And then they found out that she did.
It still blew back on him even after that. She got hate for it, not Taylor Swift. Kim Kardashian got hate for posting it.
Which I don't agree
And
with.
then the whole snake thing started.
Oh yeah. Taylor Swift.
But then she like flipped it and used it for her album, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. Did she?
Yeah, her most recent album.
I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I couldn't tell you.
I think I only realized it because it was brought up because of the Kanye thing. What else though? Oh, the whole shock factor with the Famous video.
What, wasn't that like a bunch of people naked?
Yeah, it was like Donald Trump, her, Kim Kardashian.
They were lookalikes, right?
Yeah, no, it was wax sculpture. You could watch it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Wax
you
sculpt-
like it was a art exhibit.
Oh, but it was only him and wait, was it him?
It was him, Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, Donald Trump. I want to say Chris Brown.
And would you say those are all controversial? Oh, Chris Brown. But that's another. That's a story for another.
I want
time.
to. There's like a few other people too that I forget. I'm trying to remember. What else? There's also. What else did he? I mean, The Life of Pablo seemed like a really messy release.
What do you mean?
Lead up.
Yeah, and
That whole album, like
it wasn't
in general, seemed not like the album itself seemed messy, but everything surrounding it did.
it wasn't finished until like what? It wasn't like completely finished until like what, June of that year. It was released early, like
Yeah,
February.
I think February. But if you remember, it came out and then it was only on Tidal. And then people started putting it up online. I
That's
was one of the people that downloaded it.
that's where I got the original version of 30 Hours. If you've ever heard me talk about that album, I will tell you that there's a subtle difference between in 30 Hours where he goes, hey, you know, but that difference actually makes the song like unplayable for me for the new version. The old version, original version, in my opinion, was amazing.
There's a couple. How many songs got changed in that?
I think I think he dropped a bunch of he
No,
dropped.
he didn't drop any songs. He added Saint Pablo, but then he started like mixing songs different and putting people on stuff, partially because of Chance. But then if you realize Chance has a verse on Waves and something else too that never got released.
Which I feel like it got someone.
No. I mean, he's played it before. He
Like,
got interviewed, and he was like, "There's 2 different versions. Well, there's 3 different versions of Waves. One I think Chris Brown was off of. One with Chris Brown was on. One Chris Brown and Chance were on together, and they never released any of the Chance ones because Chance was only on Ultralight Beam. Probably one of the best gospel Kanye songs.
It's a great song, and I love the way, what he just sampled like something from a viral video, right?
Yeah, the little girl. She's in like the back of a minivan. Her mom's recording her. She's talking about God.
All right, so the songs that were edited on The Life of Pablo, Ultralight Beam, Part 1 and 2 for Father Stretch My Hands, Famous, Feedback, Highlights, Freestyle 4, Waves.
Freestyle 4. I can't listen to it anymore.
Why? Because
the A$AP Rocky and Tyler song.
It's such
a better song. They killed that track more than Designer and Ye did.
Honestly.
That's like a blunder. They tried to push Designer hard. Panda took off. They used The Life of Pablo, and then nothing. He had one Champ Sports song. I listened to his stuff. I think he's decent. But there's the problem with Kanye West's good music itself is it doesn't push artists enough.
What do you mean? Like, it doesn't.
Shaq West is signed to good music. Valley is signed to good music. Designer is signed to good music. These are all kids that have a lot of talent or could have a lot of talent if helped. I think Valley's already good, but they don't give him enough push.
Yeah. Designer fell off the face of the planet.
He had that song Life with Gucci Mane a while back that did kind of numbers, but then he released like an EP before. He hasn't even released an album. But the EP was decent.
By the way, speaking of albums, was Mudboy by Shaq West a studio album or a...
It was a studio album, I believe.
Wow. So early on too.
I mean, everything's technically a studio album. We just like to call them projects and mixtapes because nobody knows how to put out an album.
Oh yeah.
An album is deemed as a cohesive piece of work, and people just want to put out songs. It's a mixtape at that point. So everybody's like, oh, I'm going to drop a mixtape, I'm going to drop a mixtape. But mixtape used to be, and it was free.
Oh yeah, but now people have to be...
Now it's I'm releasing a project, I'm releasing a mixtape. It's never go buy my album. I think that's the one lost piece lately, is nobody wants to release an album.
Because I don't think they want
the scrutiny.
Yeah, the scrutiny. Because sure you can put out like, 10-song mixtape and call it a mixtape.
And people are like, oh, maybe these are just one-offs.
Yeah. It's not meant to be like sound
cohesive.
Yeah.
It's not a piece of art. It's just songs. I mean,
like
it's still a piece of art, but it's not what it's meant to be.
It's not. It's just like a rough draft.
Yeah, basically.
And then albums would be the final.
I understand
piece.
rough drafts like joint mixtapes or joint EPs and stuff like that. That's understandable, it being a rough draft and not having cohesiveness to it. But everybody's dropping an album or a mixtape, and it's just not the same. All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
Which early Kanye albums have you listened to?
Which early Kanye albums? I've listened to College Dropout. Actually, not College Dropout. I've listened to Late Registration. No, I have listened to College Dropout. Late Registration, College Dropout.
Did you listen to Graduation?
Graduation? I did listen to Graduation. I forgot about that.
808s and Heartbreaks?
No, I didn't listen to 808s. My Beautiful.
You've never listened to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
And I haven't listened to
Easy? Or Yeezus.
And I don't really want to count Watch the Throne.
Watch the Throne's an amazing album.
Yeah.
That's an album.
But that's the Throne technically. But
They weren't the Throne back then.
they weren't.
No.
They were just
Kanye and Jay-Z.
Uh,
The Throne got thrown into the mix when they did the Drake feature.
Drake feature on. Oh, don't tell me the song. I know the song.
Pop Star.
Popstar. That was a really good.
Yeah, but then he
remix.
took it off for the album.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I think I was looking.
Because he's beefed with Jay for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
What over?
Drake just gets really, like, big-headed. And
Oh.
Jay-Z still thinks he's God. Which, in a sense, he is. I mean, when the land of the lake, or the lay of the land comes down, and you're looking at, like, kings,
He's
I think
one of them.
Jay-Z's on top.
On top of all of them?
Let's think about it. He had... See, like, the thing is with when people go Pac and Biggie were the kings of hip-hop, they had 2 albums apiece. Pac had 3, I think. Jay-Z's given album after album, and they only started dropping off after he unretired. And then they started taking off again.
Well, with 444, right?
Yeah, 444. I mean, if you think about it, every Jay-Z album has been praised when it comes out, except Magna Carta and Holy Grail was kind of an iffy album. But if you think about it, nobody's ever hated on a Jay-Z album until later on.
444 got what? It got put up for a Grammy, right?
Yeah. I don't think it won anything because Damn was up for Grammys,
Oh yeah.
and it took it all. I think it was like 444, Scumfuck Flower Boy. Damn was like rap, I think, that year.
You don't like wait, you don't like Flower Boy? I just realized.
Why?
Wait, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Wait.
I've always listened to Tyler. The whole album name's Scumfuck Flower Boy.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I did not know that.
That's what it was originally supposed to be released under, but since, you can't have,
That's things.
it'd be bleeped out, so it'd just be better calling it Flower Boy.
All right. Oh, unfortunate.
No, because to me, Kanye, getting back on track, Kanye probably has the best releases, like a three-peat to me. College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation. That's like a big run for any hip-hop artist ever.
What, and that was like within 3 years of each other?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. 2004, 2005, 2007.
No, 2007 was.
Graduation. 808s
Oh,
and
yeah,
Heartbreaks
yeah,
was
yeah.
2008 after his mom
Oh,
died.
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And after he broke up with his fiance.
Who? I forgot. I know.
She
wasn't anyone important.
No, she was somebody that he personally knew.
Oh, okay.
It was that, and then it was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy after 2 years because he had to like kind of go into hiding. He finished that project in Hawaii. Then it was Yeezus. Then it was Life of Pablo. Then it was... What came after? Did Ye come after Life of Pablo? I
Yeah,
feel like he released something in there between that, but he didn't.
I don't think so. No. Yay. Then. Well, no. Yeah. Just
Then
solo
you have
album.
Watch the Throne thrown in there.
And then Kids See Ghosts.
Kids See Ghosts.
I feel like you did an album with someone else as well.
Nah. He's only ever had 2 collabs.
Hmm.
He's also not like, if you really look at tracks, he's not featured on a lot of songs.
Kanye.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been starting to get featured more recently though.
By who?
Not by consistently by someone, but like. What he got was
He's been on a Drake song. He's been on a couple Jay-Z songs.
he was on that.
He was on... I can't think of anything else.
What's that? The Little Pump. Why can't I?
He's not featured on that.
It's his song.
That's his song.
Featuring
Lil Pump.
All right, fair enough. That part, or is that his song?
Oh, that's Schoolboy Q.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Kendrick. Is Kendrick featured more? Yeah, Kendrick's definitely.
Kendrick's 100% featured more.
Okay, so I'm thinking of Kendrick. I just a Kendrick song.
New Freezer.
New Freezer.
He did a remix of what's the Molly Percocet song by Future? Why can't I think of it?
Mask Off.
Mask Off. I mean, then again, Kendrick, like, I wouldn't consider the Black Panther album his. He's featured on all of the songs, though.
Are you? No. What about?
He's on every single song.
He's. But it's not his.
I wouldn't consider it his. I was considered it curated by him.
Fair enough. But if he's not featured on every song.
He's featured on every single song.
So I do like Lights, Stars, all the stars, all of the lights. What album is that from? My Beautiful
Well,
Dark?
that has something like 9 people featured on it.
It's a really long song. Right?
Elton John, Drake, Rihanna, Fergie. Who else? I'm forgetting people. The list goes on. I think Kid Cudi's in there for like a single word, and a couple other people.
Kid Cudi humming. A 5-minute long song. Wow.
And it was like one of the biggest hits off of it. If you like look at the lyrics, it's unbelievable the amount of people that are like hidden in there that you don't even realize.
Like you'll hear like a couple, like a line.
Yeah, I think Drake has 2 lines. Fergie raps towards the end of it. Elton John's randomly like mixed in there. It's like a really weird combo.
All right. How good of a producer do you think Kanye is?
I think he's one of the best
Of all time?
Yeah, him, Madlib. I'm gonna have to throw Zaytoven on there. I'm getting close with Metro Boomin.
DJ Esco.
DJ Esco's not a producer.
I know.
Alchemist. Trying to think of the MF Doom. Ill Mind.
Oh, that's
Pharrell.
Pharrell's a very good. I forgot Pharrell's a producer.
Pharrell's, I think, one of the best overall producers of all time. He might be the best. I mean, not counting Quincy Jones.
Oh, Quincy. Oh, like hip hop producer.
Hip hop producers, Pharrell is the best. But Pharrell also cracks into that top list of producers all time towards any genre.
I really like Nerd.
Because Pharrell, it doesn't matter who it seems to be given to. It's curated towards them. Whether it be pop or rap or anything in between, it seems like.
You could see he can make a song like
Happy.
Happy, and then make a song like Move That Dope.
Yeah. Like, he was major in Pusha T's come up. Or clips, I should say, with No Malice, his brother, and Pusha T. No Malice and Pusha T are brothers, not No Malice and Pharrell.
Like brothers or like
who? Pusha T and No Malice? Yeah, related by blood. They all grew up in like the same vicinity. Him. Why the Neptunes? It's Pharrell and somebody else. Chad Hugo. Chad Hugo's a phenomenal producer too.
I'm not.
Tyler the Creator's also a phenomenal producer, and Earl Sweatshirt, but I don't know if I'd put them in the grades.
What songs? Okay. I've listened to a lot of Tyler the Creator songs.
Tyler's produced most of his own stuff.
So like definitely everything before, almost everything before. What's it called? I think he sampled.
He produced a lot of Flower Boy. And Cherry Bomb. He didn't produce like early works like Bastard. A lot of it was like rip tracks or like old MF Doom beats.
Yeah, I forget which one. Completely forget which one from Goblin. Was it Goblin? There was a song in Goblin which took straight from.
It might be
from
MF Doom.
Yeah, it was like.
I mean, they're giant fans of him. Him and Earl.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember that video where they saw him in the street. I think we talked about
this
last time.
Yeah, we did last time.
Yeah, they saw him like live, and he talked to them, and they went crazy when he performed.
But I think like Earl is Earl's underrated in general, but as a producer, he's phenomenal. He produced almost his I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside, all of that by himself. And this new one is mostly him and a couple other people. But definitely I'm gonna have to put Kanye as best producer, one of the best
Like
producers.
top 5 at the very
Well, I
least.
mean, he had a string of just absolute producer wins this year
Yeah.
or last year,
Last year. I haven't listened to Pusha T.
because
since
Ye's,
last year.
Pusha's, Kids See Ghost, Tiana Taylor, and Nas.
Tiana Taylor's underrated. That was a good album.
It was a good album.
What, they're all seven songs long.
Yeah. And I think honestly, it's the best way to do an EP, because I don't consider those albums.
Technically they are though.
I mean, they're beautiful pieces of work.
Could
All are
just-
cohesive. All could be considered albums, but
They're too short.
they're too short.
Wait, they're too short, like literally, or you don't like it that it's so short?
No, I think it's just too short. Literally, I think I'm fine with the 7 songs.
But I feel like there's if it's good enough to put out, I don't think he needed to put any more songs. Oh, I would have loved that he put more songs on the album.
No. There was no need to put more songs. It was more or less because 7 songs is like the perfect amount, I think. Do I consider it an EP because it's only about 23 minutes every time it comes out? Yeah, sure. But I think 7 songs plays to everyone's advantage. Because, like Culture 2 with the Migos, too long of an album. It was pushing 2 hours. How many songs do you remember off of Culture 2? Narcos? Go ahead and name another one. Stir Fry?
Yeah,
Name another one.
I don't know.
Bad Bitches Only. That's about all I got. There might be one that I'm forgetting. Because they took Culture 1 and then just made it longer.
So they just added on to Culture 1?
No,
They it's
no.
literally the same exact release?
No. Culture 2 is a totally different release, but it sounds exactly like Culture 1, and the fact that they didn't change anything that they did.
They never evolved with their music.
No. And I'm fine with that. It's okay to release albums that sound the same, but you can't release a 2-hour album that's like that. Because a lot of them are just misses. What else is there? Kanye-wise. All right, let's start with, why not, just dive deep into what's happening lately.
Okay. So, did he nothing
All right, let's
started
start.
until spring, right?
All right, let's start at Meltdown. Meltdown time,
Like
2016.
2016. Oh.
Life of Pablo tour.
He stopped the tour really early.
No. He was doing the tour for forever and then
Really?
stopped it. Yeah. He was on tour for like almost a year, I think.
Oh, it was around. Did he stop around the time his mother died or no?
Life of Pablo was in 2016.
No, did he stop or the
No.
anniversary?
His mom's death was in like September.
He stopped it
I want to say it was in the winter
so
or
December?
in the early summer. I forget. But that being said, he stopped it. But do you remember why he stopped it? He went on that rant.
Which rant?
The giant one he did at in San Francisco about Kid Cudi and Drake and Jay-Z.
20. I genuinely don't remember.
So I think he went after Drake over something. I know why he went after Cudi. It was over the whole them not being seen as brothers anymore, because Cudi signed to a different label. He didn't feel like Cudi trusted him anymore. Cudi fucked him over. Whatever. Jay distanced himself from Kanye a lot.
Didn't even
Between 2015 to probably 20 now.
Didn't he he wasn't invited to Jay-Z and Beyonce's wedding, right?
No, I think he went. I could be wrong.
I'm
They got married early on, though.
I feel like they had a wedding.
You're going to have to
Or was it
fact
vice
check
versa?
that.
Or is
No, because they got married in Kim Kardashian and Kanye got married in 2014. Jay got married in 2013, 2012.
They got. Oh wow.
What?
Kim and Kanye
Been together since like 2014.
No, since
2012?
2012. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
6 months after.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Never mind, I
Crystal.
take that back. Been together or got married?
Been together since. And
No,
they
I
got married.
think they got married in 2014.
They did get married in 2014.
All right, I was correct on that. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce were earlier than that.
I feel like someone wasn't invited to something. And 2008. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I was right.
Someone didn't get invited to something, and
No. Kanye didn't get invited to something recently and got pissy. But,
not like recently this year, a couple
no,
years
like
ago.
a year and a half ago. But, no, so Tidal launched. I think they were on the rocks then. Kanye and Jay-Z. If I'm thinking Tidal launched in 2015. I could be wrong, though. But he was a partner with like all those other music curators. Not curators, but Lady Gaga artists. Lady Gaga, I think like Dead Mouse or however the hell you pronounce it. Dead Mouse 5.
No,
He was a part of that. I think Usher was, a couple other people. But I think they started getting on the rocks after that. But I think what really dug the hole was that rant. Kanye went on the rant about, oh, Jay-Z doesn't love me anymore. He's never been there for me, yada, yada, yada. And that blew up. There's video of him going on this rant for like 30 plus minutes. The people in San Francisco were so pissed off. Because imagine you pay $50 to $200 to go see Kanye West.
And for most of that time.
And for most of the time, all he does is screech about other people. But I think literally a week after, he was admitted to the hospital for a mental breakdown. Because he was dehydrated, he was suffering from insomnia, and like 3 other things. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
So after that, he lived with Rick Rubin. Shout out to Rick Rubin. Def Jam. Early founder of Def Jam with Russell Simmons.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
What?
Rick Rubin.
That's his real name?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons founded Def Jam in a college dorm. If I'm thinking of Def Jam as the correct one. But what else? So he went on this rant. Cudi got mad. I think Drake just distanced himself, and Jay distanced himself. So he goes in. He starts living with Rick Rubin afterwards. Kim. Saint wasn't born by then, so it was him and North and Kim. I think Saint might have been born.
I think he was born last year.
No. He might have been born.
He was born in
2016
because I remember in what's it called, the lyric and what's it called, No More Parties in
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
Saint is baby Ye. I ain't worried about him.
Yeah, okay. So it was Saint, North, him, and Kim living with Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin's like this Zen dude. It's like doesn't wear shoes. He meditates. He drinks herbal tea, stuff like that.
Vegan? No.
No, I don't think so. But I could be wrong.
Is Russell Simmons vegan? I'm
No,
pretty sure he
he's
is.
just a sexual predator.
Oh, that too.
Not a predator, but a sexual offender. But so Rick Rubin he like kind of takes care of Kanye for a while. Lets Kanye go back out into the world. What did Kanye do in 2017?
2017? I think
nothing.
Yeah, because he didn't release anything 27. Did he? Oh, he had like a couple tracks, right?
No.
Nothing at all.
Man's basically never released a single since like 2013.
Did he produce anything?
No.
No, he did disappear 2017.
What did he do 2017?
Nothing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I said he did disappear.
Oh, right, yeah. Beginning of this year. Or no, late 2017. Did he start making comments about Trump? Or was this year? No, this was this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
All right, beginning of 2018.
Oh, I think it was because they
He did
just
nothing.
recently had a kid. They were having a kid. I think they were getting something. I forgot the
Surrogate.
Yeah, surrogate. I didn't know that they
I think it got born this year though.
like early January.
Recently, supposedly they're pregnant with a fourth via surrogate.
Again?
Yeah, because she can't. She almost died, I think, with North and with Saint. She had like complications both times.
Oh wow.
But they want a big family, I guess. But when did he start making the slavery comments?
The slavery comments was spring.
So I want to say March.
Because he released he released Jay in June.
In June.
So it was May.
All right. Yeah. No.
April,
No.
May.
He said it in May. Because in April he announced. No, he said it in April.
And then he announced.
Yeah, probably like
mid May.
Late April.
Are you sure?
Yes, or beginning of May. Because Drake got pissy, because he knew the release date of Drake's album, and he claims Kanye tried to belittle him and release all these projects before he did.
He did it. He did it late April, early May. It might have been May. Yeah,
so,
it was May.
So he makes the slavery comment about how slavery is a choice, which isn't fully what he said, but it might as well just be interpreted like that because that's all he was saying. He said, if you're a slave for 400 years, it seems like a choice, and you should have done something about it. But not the right way to go about saying anything.
We're not gonna
diving into that. That he was insane. Then he he aligns himself with Trump.
I think it might have started with the pictures of Trump that he posted, like him in
Lauren,
a MAGA hat with someone else.
I think it's Lauren Michaels, who's like, no, who the hell is Lauren Michaels? I don't know, some dude that ran 300 the record label. He was like big in influence in Young Thug's career. But he posted a picture, and it was him in the MAGA hat. And then he went on TMZ, and then he was just labeled insane. And then he disappeared and went to Wyoming.
No, he didn't. He dropped 2 singles.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Lift Yourself and...
No. He was labeled insane and then disappeared. Those were released like right after he made the slavery comments.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He dropped 2 singles.
And then disappeared.
I was saying you forgot about that.
No, those were released before he made the slavery comments. Yeah, they were.
Lift Yourself. Oh, April 22nd? Oh, 29th. All right. Lift Yourself, I feel, or what's it called? Ye versus the People?
Was released like the same week.
Oh, wow. I don't understand.
Look up the day he made the slavery comments.
Premiered on Power One. Yeah, he's such a good producer. I love the production on that song. I really hate that he messed up the song, but I love the production.
It's an amazing song. I want to say the slavery comments were before that. When do you make the slavery comments?
Taking a look now.
I think it's wild that T.I. did this song.
Yeah, but then I think he asked him for some. Oh, I think Kanye asked him to come to him for the not inauguration or something. It was like a performance or something at the White House, and Ti declined.
Well, yeah, because
obviously.
T.I. hates Trump.
Yeah,
His last album release focused. There was a whole video of him like pretending to be Trump. He hates Trump. I think the problem with Ye.
with Kanye or the album?
No, Kanye. During this strand, is I think everybody finally realized he had a mental illness, which he's probably had since his mom died. But it was just seen as outbursts rather than a mental illness. You know what I mean? You can't find what day the TMZ things were?
I think it was May 1st.
Yeah, it was right there. No, it wasn't. It was May 1st.
Told ya. Yandi album on hold. Yandi never, by the way. Never gonna happen. It might happen.
It'll happen. Why don't you think it'll happen?
Alright. Maybe it'll happen. Hey, Hetty, what's up? Well, you're missing a lot. We talked about like a half an hour worth of... Oh, almost an hour now. We're hitting 51 minutes right now. If you're watching the stream, by the way, leave a comment, drop a like, ask some questions. We'll answer all questions at all. And hey, Eddie, what's up? Why don't I think it'll drop? Because maybe I'll think it'll drop, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Because he said he's not going to drop it. He's not going to drop it anytime soon in like May or not May, November.
Yeah, he said he'd drop it when it's done.
Yeah,
I think it'll be released probably by next year.
I'd say it's going to be a summer album. Maybe a summer, maybe spring.
No.
Well, later?
No. After this last string of comments, no.
Even later?
I'm saying next year. He needs time to recoup.
Oh, next year, 2020?
Yeah.
I feel, as much as I'd like that, if it's not out by this year, I feel like it's not going to come out at all.
It will.
I don't think so.
I don't know if it'll come out under the name Yandi.
It's definitely.
But another album will release.
Well, okay, yeah, that's different.
But, so he makes this spree about Trump on his Twitter, wears the MAGA hat, think he's, not a slave. Drops an album, seems like he's apologizing in a sense. He was off his medication. But he also says that he's bipolar. Nobody knows if he actually is.
Do you think
he claims he has mental illness? I think he might be bipolar. I think it's the easiest thing to look at and be like, yep, he definitely has it. He's flip-flopped his whole career. Not his whole career, but as of late. On how he feels on certain people and certain subjects.
I don't think like flip-flopping on your like how he feels on certain subjects.
But he flip-flops nonstop. This isn't a one-time occurrence. It's happened like 5 or 6 times now.
Cause he did switch on the whole defending Trump thing, right?
He switched after.
So you don't think that one was legit?
What?
Do you think that one was like...
I think he supports Trump. I think he switched once somebody got him back on his meds. Then he got back off them. And then to begin the new year, said that he loved Trump. He flip-flops like it's nothing. And then he keeps saying, I can't make my beautiful dark twisted fantasy music while I'm on my meds. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I don't know if I want another beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy if he's going to act like this for the rest of his life. I think he, as a person, needs to sit down with his family, and he needs to look at what would be better for him. To ruin a career, not ruin it, But to have a legacy that seems
So blemished.
so blemished and destroyed by a mental illness, or just to take the meds and maybe just stop. Maybe just release one final album,
And then
step back, produce,
Maybe
and call it a career. Do some features and just finally admit to yourself that it's not worth it.
Because he's what, 40 now? Not 40.
Yeah, he's a little over 40. I believe. If not, he's 39. But it's not a bad time. The problem with rap is there's never been longevity.
Never.
We've never watched somebody mature as much as Jay-Z has. Or Eminem.
Yeah, Jay-Z's 41. Or Kanye's 41.
Jay-Z's 49. I think Eminem might be 50. I could be completely
46.
wrong. 46. He looks 50.
For some reason, I did feel like he was 50.
But we've never had, because think about it. Those are 90s rappers, mid 2000s. Most 90s rappers, Pac and Biggie, the biggest ones, died. Big L died. Big Pun died. Fat Joe's still around. I know I'm missing people. I mean, like Cameron and them all fell off. Jim Jones, the whole Diplomat thing. But there's never been longevity like Eminem or a Jay-Z or a Kanye. 50 fell off. 50 doesn't rap really anymore. But
Flock
it's all about understanding how to.
Well, Flock is like, what, 50 something now?
Who?
Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka is like 30.
Wait, I'm thinking of a different person. 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz is like 46 or 36. One of the two.
Someone's really old. I'm thinking.
2 Chainz is older than you think he'd be because he only popped off in 2013.
Yeah, I know. I said he's like 40. So I thought he was 50.
Gucci's oldie.
How old is he?
Late 30s.
2 Chainz is 41. Is there someone along the likes of Waka Flocka Flame?
Like who? Gucci?
Oh, yeah, then that. Waka Flocka. Oh,
Gucci's
Waka Flocka's vegan. I know that.
Yeah. Or he was. I think he might have gone back.
Where's the beef?
Waka Flocka also did EDM.
Oh, God.
Fun fact.
Did
and
he?
made a killing off of it at
Like,
colleges.
I call like he did his own. He used to DJ.
He used to DJ.
That's crazy.
Right after Flockavelli dropped. And like he had those big things with he had No Hands, Hard in the Paint, and then like his second album never took off. So he went on EDM.
How do you guys feel about the video of Drake kissing a 7?
I don't want to talk about that. That is, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh God, this is like, have you?
Is
like
it bad?
him and Millie Bobby Brown being like best friends?
No way. Is this real?
Yeah.
Or not real?
So I don't know how old he was. Some people are saying that he was also underage when the video was taken, but he kissed a girl on stage, then finds out she's underaged, and then continues. I wish we could show videos.
Honestly, that's something we're gonna have for the next one.
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
No.
This got big this morning.
When did this happen?
This morning.
No. When did
that has to be like 2009.
Well, he wasn't underage then. He's 31. He's 32 now.
No, I read a comment that said he was 17 at the time, but could be false. I thought he looks like 2009 Drake, like Sprite commercial Drake.
All right. So Drake's
Sus.
32. Drake's 32.
When did the video come out?
Well, the video.
That was 10 years ago. He would have been 22. Do the math.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Well,
When did
there's
the-
no credible source on when the video happened.
When did Drake get big? Oh, it was May
2010.
17th, 2010.
It was May 17th, 2010.
Yeah, so he was even older than that.
He was 23, almost 24.
Oh, did he? And he? Can you? Or I don't want to like. This is a whole different story. But do you want to write it off as just him not knowing? Because
They told him
after or before?
during,
like
right after he kisses the girl.
that's when they told him.
Then he proceeds to like kiss her again.
That's bad.
Well, this is like, have you seen the video of Millie Bobby Brown talking about them being friends?
Yeah.
That's just scary. And I get
She's
it.
even younger, and
She's
he's
like
even
15.
and he's even older.
There's a 15, almost 7. No, there's a 17 years age gap between the two of them. I worry. This is like talking about R. Kelly and
Except
Leah.
I wouldn't say this is as bad as R. Kelly.
No. Age gap wise.
Oh yeah, it's like what?
R. Kelly was 27. Aaliyah was 15.
He married her.
Do you want to know what he paid the parents and her not to talk about it?
How much?
$100. They got the marriage annulled after 2 months, and he paid them all $100, and they never said anything. I wish I was joking.
I gotta fact check this.
It's on the Lifetime docuseries.
Docuseries?
Yep. They just did it. Surviving R. Kelly. I think another episode airs tonight, matter of fact. They forged documents to make her look 18 so they could get married.
Oh my god. Jesus. What a scumbag. When did that thing where
When did R. Kelly, pee on a 15-year-old
Yes.
girl? Like 2003.
And when did where did Aaliyah and them go?
Like 90-something.
Oh my god, so he was even older than that?
What, when he peed on that 15-year-old girl? Yeah.
She was 14.
Oh, yeah, my bad. 14. Not like 15's any better, but 14's even
Awful.
worse. There's a tape of that somewhere in the world. One I never want to see.
Of course not.
I don't know. He's another conversation and a half. R. Kelly's a very worrying man.
See, now this is why I wanted to make this podcast about like basically controversies about people in rap in general. We could have talked about some.
R. Kelly's worrying on a good day.
It's worrying. He makes good music. Do you think he makes good R&B music? It's hard to separate.
I can't say yes anymore.
It's hard to.
He makes phenomenal R&B music, but I can't say that anymore.
It's real. In this case, it's really hard to
I
separate.
didn't think he was a good artist after he started peeing on girls, but I didn't find that out until I was like 15.
Jesus.
Somebody this morning, at the end of Space Jam, I forget what song he sings, but it's at the end of Space Jam when
I
Michael
Believe I
Jordan
Can
gets
Fly.
off of
I Believe I Can Fly.
I don't think that's the one.
That's it.
It is? All right. When Michael Jordan gets off the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody changed it to Chief Keef for another Chicago artist.
This one? Do you remember the song? Are you sure?
I want to find it. It just happened this morning.
Space Jam ending. All right, let's not get off topic anymore. All right. So, what were we talking about beforehand? We were talking about like Kanye West well, we're still in what, June for Kanye West this year or last year?
Yeah, it's I Can Believe I Can Fly.
Told you. But yeah, we're in June now for Kanye West. And
June of this year.
yeah.
All right.
He drops Yay.
I'm gonna ignore all the Drake stuff.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, none of that was his fault.
It wasn't his fault, no. But you're gonna ignore the Drake stuff for the summer, but not
For the summer, because the thing that happened with Drake is Drake blamed him. We will now talk about the Kanye stuff that involved Drake. Because Drake blamed him in the summer, and then Kanye got a little angry, and then a lot of angry, and then even more angry. But to gloss over that, Pusha T, diss track, Drake accused Kanye. Then Drake started sending purple eggplant emojis to Kim. Can you imagine that?
Well, didn't he say? Weren't there rumors that Drake
Made
I think
in my feelings, Kiki was Kim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's his like first girlfriend.
Yeah.
The when he was famous, would have been cool otherwise. But
Maybe
Alright.
it is true, but he's just too much.
he doesn't denounce Trump. We keep it moving throughout the summer, correct? He doesn't denounce Trump until what, September?
Yeah. I think what he said is like, I wasn't in my right mind.
Yeah, I was being I can see who was being used as a slave,
Mhm.
rather than like, because he kept saying black people are Democrats and they're all slaves, which is like insane.
That's really, it's. I think it's hard being a Kanye fan. I don't defend all of what he says at all.
See, the difference is with him, I can separate the artist from the words for once, or the doings. I can't separate R. Kelly peeing on a 15-year-old girl. It's just Kanye saying crazy things and having a mental health problem,
and then he's talking about it in his music,
and then making great music. Two interchangeable things. R. Kelly making phenomenal R&B music, pissing on a 15-year-old girl. They have to go hand in hand. It's like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby has comedy albums that are considered one of the greatest of all time. You just can't listen to him.
'Cause that's
50. The number was over 50. See, the difference is with like Harvey Weinstein, he just produced the movies, so I'll watch them. But his number was like 200.
That's basically every single actor he's ever
Yes.
he's ever worked with.
Sometimes the actress never got into the movie.
Oh yeah, because he basically was a gatekeeper.
I think the real question is, who's the craziest person that got sexual harassment charges? Like, who did you not expect?
Morgan Freeman, Stanley.
Stanley was old and senile. I write that one off. He was like 95 when he did it.
Yes, Maciel, what's up? Oh, he can't hear it. It's going to be really delayed. But
Back on track. Kanye denounces Trump on Twitter. Now we start with Drake. We start with the bicycle video.
which bicycle video?
When he's in Chicago.
Oh, and he's walking through, yeah? Yes, this is live, Maciel.
You owe me an apology.
Hold on.
Did he say that? Wait, was that to Drake or was that to Nick? It was to Nick Cannon, but wasn't Drake a part of that?
I feel, I'm pretty sure it was a part
Nick
of it.
Cannon was also brought up.
What happened with Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon spoke on Kim Kardashian. Kanye was not a fan.
Spoke on Kim Kardashian. Was it during Wild 'N Out or was it just in general?
In an interview. Kanye wasn't a fan. They hashed it out, though. That did get reconciled. Kanye said that he's going to move back to Chicago and devote time to Chicago. Fast forward 3 weeks. Just randomly one day, Kanye starts a flood of tweets. Just all attacking Drake. All of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to read some of them.
Do you have them screenshotted?
No, they're still up.
He never took them down.
No.
That's crazy. Wow.
He's not afraid. See, he tweets so much, it's kind of scary.
Does he still tweet? Is he still tweeting like now?
Yeah. He might have stopped again, because if you read what he wrote 4 days ago. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. He tweeted so much. December 13th.
Johnny Manziel thinks Kanye West is afraid of Drake.
Free. Drake sent in a clearance request for Say What's Real. Do you want to clear? This shit proves it's faker than wrestling. Still need an apology for mentioning 350s and trying to take food out of your idol's kid's mouth. Been trying to meet with you for 6 months, bro. You sneaked this in on Travis Records and texting Chris talking about how's the family. I told you I ain't tell Push about your son. It's all love, bro, but don't play with me. You stay too close to be playing all these industry games, bro. Sending purple emojis while I'm dealing with mental shit. I need you, my apology now. Not through Scooter either, not through Travis. I would never intentionally try to hurt you, bro. I've never heard one of your diss records. Or I never even heard none of the diss records. That ain't my MO. Never did a diss record. No tough talk either. This ain't about who could pay to have someone done something. This man to man, bro. This been bothering me for too long. Buying 2 first rows at Push's show got me hot, bro. Stop, bro, already. You're getting people hurt out here and over what? Drake finally called. Mission accomplished. By the way, it's not cleared. Drake called threatening me. The kid that had run on stage at Push's concert is in critical condition. It just goes on and on. And he mentions the line about the pool.
About which pool?
My pool's bigger than Kanye's now.
Oh, by the way, Marcel asks, Mo Bamba or Sicko Mode?
Finito.
Finito, Marcel. You heard it from Chris himself.
Gmail.
By Sheck West? Yeah.
Probably Sicko Mode, though. If I had to choose. All right, so he does that whole ordeal. Fast forward a little more. More tweets about Drake. More problems. Him contacting family. Then he meets with Travis to talk about the sneak diss on Sicko Mode.
What was the sneak diss?
Checks over stripes. That's what we like.
Checks over stripes.
Yep.
Is
Kanye signed with Adidas. Drake was supposed to sign with Adidas until Pusha T.
Wait, so Marcel asked actual question. What do you think of stands? Stands are awful. I
hold on. Stands, depending, there can be good and there can be bad. There can be... So, like, let's take Ariana Grande, for example. She, as an artist, is very talented. She has stans, a lot of them. There are good and there are bad. I think it goes to show that once there's too much... Once you get popular enough, you have stans that will literally die for you at that point. But you have people who legit just want to put out her message to the world and show that she has good music. You know what I mean? There's good and bad side.
They're overzealous about it, but they're still doing it positively.
Positively, yes. There's no problem with doing it positively. You might be, a little too over defensive, but sometimes I understand it. You just want to push people's music out there because you think that she, as an artist, has a good message. But, like when the Pete Davidson thing happened, and certain stans were literally just tweeting and Instagramming him, kill yourself. I think that's a little wild. I think that's where it draws the line, and you're not considered a stan.
I think
You're just considered an asshole.
that's fair. And I dislike stands that attack other artists. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like
Comparing.
comparing. Like, but you can't compare. Like, you can't compare two different artists of two different genres. You can't say, "Oh, I hate Kanye stans, but I love Ariana Grande," when they're two different genres.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can hate Kanye stans, but you can't base.
An argument that Ariana Grande is better than Kanye,
Yeah,
unless you're doing it purely on album sales, which Kanye still has her beat.
exactly. Well,
But
he has more albums than her. So.
that being said, I don't think it's fair to all stands to negatively,
Attack other artists, or
negatively even attack them. I think
other-
it's the same thing. They negatively attack artists, but it's a small majority rather than the whole. And I think the same with when people say that they hate stands. You hate a small majority
That's fair. That's fair. I'll
rather
take
than
that.
the giant. Which
Though you hate the very vocal.
the vocal part.
Yeah.
But there are stands that are completely fine.
Mhm.
But there's stands for everything. And sometimes they're good and sometimes they aren't.
Kanye stands. I'd say Kanye stands overall. That maybe because I like. You think they're horrible?
Mm-hmm.
Like
The problem with Kanye stands is they don't know when to draw the line.
I feel like a lot of people drew the line over this summer.
I think there's still people with him that haven't. But I will agree with you. A lot of people did draw the line. But I think sometimes when Kanye goes on outbursts, they just are like, yeah, that's okay. When it's not.
It's not because he's clearly sick.
Asking for help.
He's sick, and you're not, and
You're just
you're just enabling that People
sickness, yes. You're just telling him, yeah, keep doing it. Perfectly okay. And I think that's why he got the drawback from saying that he is a fan of Trump and other stuff this summer, because people did draw the line. And people want it. Like, I think what I'm waiting for is for him to sit down and talk about it.
He hasn't.
Every time he's messed up, he's gone on Ellen.
On Ellen? Didn't
Yeah.
he go on? No, he didn't go on Ellen recently.
No.
That was someone else. I forgot who.
I think Kevin Hart just went.
Kevin Hart just won.
But I think for me, Kanye needs to sit down and talk with somebody. He talked about doing a podcast with Joe Rogan, who I think is actually a person that would have a healthy conversation with him. I think Joe Rogan's intelligent enough
To like not.
ask certain questions that need to be asked and get the answers at the same time. But I think the thing is every time Kanye went on Ellen, it gave him a little more humanity than you see. Like, he seemed like a human rather than a figure that just says stuff for the clout. Or not clout, but mental illness. And I think the problem is early on in his career, he started saying crazy stuff. But I don't think people knew whether it was mental health. Because think about it. When he started saying crazy stuff in 2010, mental health meant nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
Except like 5 people.
Like 20 people on.
Yeah. And then you come to now and mental health's like the end all and be all.
It's like.
So was he back then saying stuff just for album sales?
Or was he actually
that was another cry for help?
the earliest cry for help?
Yeah. And people just deemed it off as he's just doing it for the clout. Rather than now, I think you can look at him and be like, maybe he just needs to, like I said, sit back, get back on some meds, release one more album, produce a little, do a couple features, and call it a career. And focus on his family and his investments. And that, at the end of the day, I think might be the healthiest for him.
Absolutely.
I think it's just, and then like even focus on good music more.
Because he can do so much with helping. He can
definitely lead artists in the right direction,
Absolutely.
I think he has the mindset to do it.
like
And there's
look
people around him that want to help. Pusha T, Travis, I think they want to help him.
Like-
Because every time they're asked about him, They say it wasn't a good era during the Trump hat.
Mm-hmm.
For him personally, not even his persona. Just like it didn't seem like he was healthy. And just to look at the people Kanye's, like, people that look up to him. You're talking about Juice WRLD, Travis, X, Ski Mask. I could just start going off. Lil Yachty. These are people who idolized Kanye. Lil Uzi Vert.
Kanye is genuinely one of the most influential
Him.
hip hop, if
him,
not artists
Gucci
of all
Mane,
time.
T.I., and Biggie. And
Oh.
Jay-Z. That's all I'm saying. Those are like where things seem to pop off if you really pay attention.
What about
Hmm?
Tupac?
Who?
Ooh,
We don't know no West Side out here, cuh.
you don't like Tupac. Chris doesn't like Tupac.
He's an okay artist. I think he gets a little too much recognition.
Absolutely.
Kendrick Lamar's another one. How many lyrical rappers do you hear nowadays?
That are actually entertaining,
Uh,
in my opinion.
Bingo. No, even the SoundCloud ones. Because nobody can do Kendrick Lamar like Kendrick Lamar does Kendrick Lamar.
I was talking about this. I was talking about this earlier at work. We were talking about Kendrick. What I thought is, in my opinion, no one, if you're like a conscious rapper or a lyrical rapper that's trying to make a hip hop album about the streets or anything, you cannot. I don't believe it's going to be incredibly hard to live up to Pimp a Butterfly, to make a conscious album.
To remotely ever get close to that level, ever again, it's going to have to take somebody who's even more intricate with it than he was. Because if you think about it, when he laid down the work for that album, start to finish, it is all talking about one theme, and that's the poem. Just to get an album to sound sonically good over just that part is damn near impossible. There's few people that could really do that at the end of the day.
The poem, like, I remember you was conflicted.
Yeah. At the end of Moral Man. Then he talks to Pac, which is an odd part of the album to me. But it grows to it shows his sentiment of the whole thing.
All right. So, for reference, I'm just going to play the Mortal Man clip.
This isn't the right part.
Hmm?
This
I
isn't
know.
the right part. It's like it's hidden. Keep going.
Hmm?
Keep going.
What do you mean?
This is like how long until he says it?
I don't know.
It's towards like, why don't you just look up the poem?
Because there's no clip of the poem just by itself. Having a little bit of trouble finding the actual poem. But, oh, here. That's not it. It's some random dude. play it and the audio's down? The audio's down.
How's the audio now?
That's the interview.
Is it?
Still the song? Right. Okay, there we go. Do you want to wrap it up soon? It's 8:32. We've been streaming for like an hour and a half though. My feet are freezing, man. I literally can't feel my feet. At 9? I kind of want to end.
Fighting a continuous war. Good five, so the enemy. I'm not murder man.
All right, so that was what did he end up naming it?
Mortal man.
All right, yeah. All right, so that was the Mortal Man, and that's basically the entire theme of the album. And if you listen to the album song by song and then listen to the poem, you can see how each track, each section relates to one of the lines, I'd say.
Yeah. Just to have songs on it that can be considered singles. All right. These walls.
King Kunta.
King Kunta. Blacker the Berry. These are all songs that were released or are considered singles from the album that in their own right did phenomenal, but also led back to a bigger message. Because if you look at Good Kid, Mad City, it's Kendrick talking about his own experience as a kid. He's talking about how he grew up in the streets and how things look out for him. But To Pimp a Butterfly is a look at the problem of growing up in the hood and having no outlet and being told that you're never going to be anything and being told that all you are is a gang member and nothing better. And I think that album deserves all of the recognition it got. He should have gotten the Pulitzer Prize for that one, not Damn. Damn was an intricate look at emotion rather than reality. But I think to me, Kendrick is the end all of be all of what it is to be an artist.
Absolutely. Maybe not with Damn, or not with like being an artist, but with being a true rhythm and blues or rhythm and poetry, right? That's what rap stands for, basically.
For the most part, yeah.
Rhythm and poetry. That's Kendrick Lamar with To Pimp a Butterfly, through and through.
It's just such a crazy album to me.
It's and
the way he looks at in the album in like 3-minute songs, 4-minute songs, what he speaks on. I think it leaves you looking at things different in your own life. Whether you can relate to what he's saying or not, I think you take a deeper look at everything you do.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. I think we started off with Kanye and ended with Kendrick. Maybe that'll be something.
Hit a lot of stuff in the middle.
Absolutely.
Barely stayed on Kanye.
Hmm.
But he's back to supporting Trump, so I don't know if I'm down with this no longer.
He
Final remark.
we need he
Back on
needs
meds, release an album, produce a little, do features, run your music label, end your career, and go home a happy man.
Well, everyone that watched, everyone have a good night. Leave a like, follow. We'll let you know next time our stream is going up, and
Saturday the 12th, we have an interview.
with a guest, with a
Very special guest. Shout out Juvie. Shout out Juvie Mob. Shout out Juvie Beats.
All right, everyone, have a good night.